Hey there, this is Linda, and in this video I'm going to show you how it's going so far in my Hobonichi cousin. Today is February 1st, 2023, so I am 1 month into this planner, and I can't wait to tell you guys what has been working and what is not working. So let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so this cover is everything I purchased from Hobonichi itself because I wasn't sure really what I wanted. And I love how this cover looks. I'm unsure though if I want to maybe slip some like photos or something in there, but for now it's just kind of living like this. I haven't really been using it though to hold things. I have these in here which I am using for my meal planning. But other than that, I don't have anything really in any of these pockets up front. In the back though, I do have some stickers from Planner Kate that I have been using. So moving along, I'm just gonna kind of show you guys where I am so far and how I've been using this. So I haven't used this page at all. I have been thinking about doing some sort of like kind of memory keeping in terms of like an overview photo to represent each month, something that's kind of like the highlight of the month. And I was thinking I could put those on here, like over each month once it happens. I also might put that here or like in here, and then at the end of the year attach it. I've seen a lot of people add stuff to like these pages, and right now they're just blank. But because I am carrying this for a full year and it's something that I do keep my planners and kind of look back on them, I like the idea of having a little bit of memory keeping in here, even though this is not my main form of memory keeping. As you guys know, I document Project Life, I have a daily journal. This is more for planning, but having some of that stuff in here kind of, I don't know, I really like it. So this I'm using as a tracker. And so what I've done here is I have daily colors, and I'm going to continue with my daily rainbow colors, but I think I'm going to trade out some of the markers. These are all mild liners, zebra mild liners. This is the pink I'm using. And unfortunately, these don't have like numbered names, but I'm using, I do a rainbow from Monday through Sunday. And this is something I've done for years in my bullet journal, but on the Tomoe River paper, some of the colors don't show up so well. So I might swap out like the blue for a darker blue or the pink for a darker pink, but I wanted to keep it the same for January. So I'm tracking whether or not I do my planner every day, budgeting, if I do my budget planning and checking, if I do Pilates or yoga, which is not something I intend to do every day, but I do want to still have it tracked. 10,000 steps, if I go for a hike or do some other athletic activity, if I do my daily journal, if I create something, so something crafty, if I pick up the house, clean the kitchen, and read. So some of these are things I do want to do every day. Some of these athletic ones, I don't necessarily want to do them every day, but I do want to have them tracked. So I'm not sure I love having them tracked in the same spot, because I like the idea of having the goal to be filling all of this in. But for now it's working, and I had filled in all of the first 6 months, so I'm going to kind of stick with that. Down here I have my long-term cleaning, and what I'm doing is I created dots using the Zig Clean Color dot marker, and I'm just writing in the number of the date when I complete it. So one thing I didn't complete, I'm going to have to migrate that to February, or potentially find another spot to schedule it. So moving to the monthlies. So the monthlies is kind of where I started setting up this planner when I first got it, and I was figuring out the paper still. So you can see I have a bunch of smears as I figured out what pens I like. What I have decided is my favorite is the Sarasa Mark On. It is a gel pen from Zebra. I am not I'm not into fountain pens at all. It's not something I'm interested in investing in. So I really wanted a gel pen that would work in here, but I'm also left-handed. So I needed something that would dry very quickly, and pretty much everything smears on this paper. So it took me a while to find one that I like. This isn't perfect, but I think it works the best out of everything that I have found. I initially was using this to just write future plans of, you know, appointments and types of things. But towards the end, I started wanting to come back and fill things in later so I could have like an overview of what actually happened. And I think that's something I'm going to do more into the future as my planner gets a little bit more, as I get more organized in here and like my style a bit more. You can see going into March, I started putting the colors across the numbers like this, like March and April, as opposed to here when I was marking like specific days. So I'm still trying to figure out kind of my style, but so far I'm enjoying it. I think that January was kind of messy, but I'm hoping in the future it's not going to look this messy. I also put all of my monthly tasks here. So those are the same tasks that you see right here, and I'm checking them off as I complete them. This is just my general to-do list of things that I need to do this month. And then this is my cleaning, everything I want to clean once during the month. I didn't do very well with my cleaning in January because I was super busy this month teaching a class over at Allie Edwards called Plan, Prep, and Play. And so that kind of took over my month. So a lot of things I think are not very typical of what my month will look like, but it was still super fun to have this as, you know, kind of a learning curve while I was working on that class. Then moving into the weeklies. So the weeklies, I'm still trying to find my way as with everything else in here, but I really like how I am splitting the page where, you know, the hourly, I don't really need that many hours. So I'm adding my cleaning list down here and dinner. For dinner planning, I'm writing the meals here after the fact, and I'm using this to do my meal plan ahead of time because I don't always do the meals, like things change around. So this is like my tentative plan, and then this is how it actually comes out. For my cleaning tasks, these are all of the things that I want to do. I have a schedule that is back here that is loosely kind of what I want to do on which days. Some things I do every week, like laundry, and then other things are the things that I do monthly that are from this list. And the other one, some of them are the annual tasks that came from this list, and I just schedule them when I think I want to do them. And then I will check them off as I do them. And then of course I will move them to my dailies as I work on my dailies. And then here are like the general tasks that I need to do this month. Some of those are coming from my monthly list here. Others are just things that come up that I need to do and that aren't any specific day. I've also been putting a focus here of like, what are the things I'm really focused on this week as the tasks that I want to kind of spend my time on. I am kind of using the hourly bar to document my work hours. And then across the top here, I've been putting my work location, whether I am in the office, whether I am telecommuting, or whether I'm not working at all, and why. And then I'm also putting my daughter's school schedule. So I do like that. And then I was starting to kind of fill in sort of like tasks and things, but I was leaving it mostly blank and then doing kind of like a color scheme for the month. So for January, I was doing kind of a blue color scheme, but you can see I have some pink in here and I don't love it. I was trying to do a little bit of decorative in here, but I, again, don't love how blank this is. But I'm just not someone who's gonna put like a ton of stickers. I do have like the payday one here, but just not a ton of decoration. So I'm still was kind of trying to find my way. This week I put like pink here and I hate it. I hate the colors. I wanted to kind of stick with the blue. So then moving into the next week, I'm back to the blue, and you can see I'm doing a little bit more decoration. And I decided to, starting in this last week, do a lot more decoration in here and kind of do like an after the fact of like, this is what I actually did that day. I'm having a lot of fun kind of figuring out what to put in and to make it look nice and practicing my lettering. A lot of the markers I'm using, so I'm using these sign brush pens from Rytech, which are like, this one is this dark blue here. This is a pink one. And then I'm using the Tombow Fudensuki hard tip for the black. And then of course my gel pen and my highlighters and my dot markers. And that's kind of like my main like pens that I grab for this planner. I started putting the weather up here, which I really love that. And I'm just sticking with the same format though, with the clean and the dinner at the bottom in my to-do list over here, which I do really like that in the focus. I'm also started to add some stamps in here and some doodles. I want to practice doodling more, so I am going to try to do that a bit more. And now I'm moving into this week. With February, I switched to pink. And then you can see I kind of messed up my stamping here, so I do want to work on my stamping. I'm doing the weather across the top, and then I think once I get out of February, because I did the pink ahead of time, I think I'm going to go to doing gray for the basics and then do the colors in the rainbow colors like I've done in the past, because that's kind of matches my dailies, and that's something that I really like. Rather than having the whole thing be pink for February, I think I want to do like Monday's red and Tuesday's orange, and I think that might be a little more fun for me. Then moving into my dailies. So I started out the month with my goals for the month. These are not my craft goals because those are separate, but this is like my general goals for the month. And then I came back and added some notes and checked things off. And then I'm going into the daily. So I do use this as a daily to-do list. I started out trying to do like the hourly and trying to figure out kind of like what worked for me. I added some washi in here and some doodles. I didn't really love how that worked. But I did end up adding a lot of like lists and things in here. I added a bunch of random notes. I was just trying to figure out kind of like what I wanted to do. And I ended up kind of settling on this format here, where I have a long to-do list here on the left-hand side. And then here I have kind of random notes. And what ended up happening was I didn't have enough notes to fill this in the same time as the day. So like this happens on the actual day. I put my daily tasks, my to-do list for the day, craft task, anything like that here. And then I'm putting the day of the week, and this matches the style that I used to do in my bullet journal. But as you can see, some of these colors, I don't love them in here, which is why I said I'm going to find different colors to use for some of these markers going forward. But I was just kind of playing, trying different things, having notes. And then I realized that this part, I'm not always filling it in that day. So sometimes I was going back and filling in gaps. And my goal is to fill everything in eventually. But you know, if it doesn't fill in that day, then that's totally fine. So I was using it just as like a random note spot, because I'm the kind of person who's always writing down notes. I always have like sticky notes all over my desk, and I want this to be the place for that. So I'm not super worried about it being super pretty. Like I kind of want it to be, but I don't want it to be to the point where it stops me from using it. So I am just trying to kind of fill it in. I'm just writing in notes as they happen. You can see here I have just like some ideas about what I want to fill in. I have some notes from some insurance adjustment thing that was going on. Here I watched a video on handwriting, and I just took down some notes from that. And then here I added in a quote because I had some like extra space. And so I just kind of wanted to like practice my handwriting, just write things down. And then I'm adding a little bit of washi. So I don't love like stickers and washi in here because this paper is so thin. And so I'm still trying to find my way as to whether or not I want to use any at all. Like I really like how this page looks where it's just the markers and pens, but I do also love washi and I want to use up my stuff. So I'm trying to kind of find my way still. Here I have a packing list for a trip that I'm going on next month or this month. Here was a random collection of like what is my like to-do list for a Sunday reset. This was a quote from a book I was reading that I really wanted to kind of document. So I just went back and filled in an empty page. And so that's just kind of how I'm using it. I added more washi here and just went back and like added some like stamped notes. So I have this stamp set here, which is on Amazon, and I will link that below. And I just love it. It's got the alphabet in lowercase, uppercase, numbers, symbols, and I just use this on a lot of like scrapbooking, but I've been using it in here to add some random quotes and thoughts just to like fill in space. Here I was trying out like a new washi I got took some notes from a nonfiction book I'm reading, a like task list here, some like photo list. I just filled in like some random handwriting, just like practicing things. And then you can see I still have some gaps in here, and I wanted to finish, like fill in all the January pages before I filmed this video. And then the end of the month was like super crazy, and I decided I wanted to just go ahead and film where I am now, but I do plan to still go back and fill this in. Moving into the 22nd, you can see here I did like a checklist as I was finishing some projects. A lot of the things this list or this month were checklists related to plan, prep, and play, because that was something that like took up most of my month. So that was another thing working on that class. And then here I have some swatches, which I absolutely love that I took the time to do that. And this is just a great place to have that. The one thing I don't love about it is that I don't have like an index. And I know that this page right here could be an index where I put like on the 22nd here, I could just write like my eyeliner swatches. So I would know that's where it is, but I like this as a tracker. So this is, I'm gonna have to just kind of remember or flip through if I wanna find it again. I guess I could create like an index in the back, but for now, there's nothing I really need to reference. I mean, there's a few things that I would want to, like my Sunday reset list, for example. This is something I'm going to want to reference or remember, whereas like this was a checklist for working on some lessons in Plan, Prep, Play. That class is done now. I'm never gonna need that list again. So then life was getting super busy, and moving into the 24th here, I was too busy to plan this day, but the following like weekend, I think, I just had like a ton of stuff I needed to do. So I used this to kind of just create an overall like task list of things I wanted to do over that entire weekend, as opposed to a daily list. And I didn't do like a lot of them, or I didn't come back and check a lot of them off. I have done a lot of these now, but it was just very nice to like have it all in one place. You can see here, I just have some like more space. I use this to kind of just add some notes about like, I took the day for myself and needed to like work on some stuff. So it was nice to have that reminder. And then here was just trying to like, I took some notes about a project I wanted to do and sketched out some stuff. I did like a little sketch here. I got a black one of these for dots, but it smears a lot. So and it's not good to like check them off. So like the gray, I don't love it on this paper because it's kind of like fades into it. And you can see here, like I had tried some other colors. Like here's like a light blue I have, and there was like a peach one. But I also had the black, and that one, the black shows up great, but it smears and it's hard to like check them off. So I haven't found a dot that I love yet, but I'm still working on figuring that out. Here you can see more notes, a longer to-do list. Here I created, like this was a catch-up checklist from One Little Word 2022, which I still want to finish. And I had this list in another journal from last year, and I decided to kind of like move it into here so that I can reference it as I continue to work through that project and finish it up. Moving into last Sunday, I had just a lot of tasks. So instead of just doing the column, I split it into more categories and just filled the entire page. And you can see I'm adding some more stamping in here. And then moving into this week, Monday I planned, and then that was it. Like it was just a crazy busy day. And then Tuesday I didn't even plan. So I will probably go back in here and use this as like a notes page. But because today is the 1st, I haven't gotten to it yet. I did do today's planning, and then I need to plan out my February goals right here. So I wanted to just go ahead and get this video filmed to kind of show you like a realistic view of where I am at the end of January, and kind of like show you that I am finding my way in here. I'm still testing it out. This is kind of like what I'm seeing, what works, what doesn't work. Generally, I don't like the hourly on the day. I think I want to stick with that in the weeks and use this as a to-do list column. The date right here will go right here in the same format, and then this is like a general notes. If you go to the back here, I have some general trackers that I'm using. So this one is just like overall like tasks that I'm going to do very rarely, but I want to make a note of when I do them. So it says like the month and then the task, and then I'll write in the date when I've done it. Here is my bills, like to pay bills, tracking my paydays, and this is like some assets and like spending tracking. I don't want to share the numbers, but you can see kind of how I have it tracked here. And I do have digital tracking for this stuff as well, but I like having the overview in here. And then here's more like cleaning and tasks. So these are all of those tasks that I want to do regularly. And I have this here so I can see kind of like when was the last time I did it. So I write in the date that I do it in the month, and I have 5 for each month because I figure mostly like these things are not things I'm going to do more than 5 times in a month. A lot of them you see I didn't even get to, or I did them once. The goal is that all of these will be done at least once per month, minus some of them are like yard work that's seasonal. I'm not doing that in January, but most of these things I want to do multiple times per month. So I have this for that. And then I have like my passwords and account information and some additional notes. I did show you guys, this was my timetable where I did like tasks, what tasks I want to do each day. So these are the things I do every week. And these are things I do once a month, the day that I will do it. So like on Monday, I have clean my bedroom, clean mirrors and glass, clean the den and stairs, and clean my craft room. And I will rotate depending on the week of the month, which one I'm going to do on Monday. Here, I just have like a random pen test. Here, I decided to use this to document TV shows that I am watching, but I also decided that I'm going to start a media journal. So I don't know that I will keep up with that. I still haven't come up with a plan for the My 100. I might end up just not using it. And then I didn't do my favorite things. And then I had started doing this as like a no sugar tracker. And then I stopped trying to quit sugar. So I kind of fell off on that. And then I'm not sure what I was going to do this. This could be where I put those photos as my like memories for the year. But because I'm not really using this one, I don't know. But that's where I am so far. Right now I have very mixed feelings about this planner. I'm happy that I'm in it. I do want to stick with it for the remainder of the year, but I'm thinking that I really want to try the common planner now. Some of the things that I love about this planner are not present in that one. Like the one thing that I really, really wanted was to have the monthly, weekly, and daily, but I am finding that these dailies are just too big for me. And if I don't have to do a full page per day, that might be better for me. So I do kind of wish I could just like try that now, but you know, it's a learning curve and those planners are sold out. So I'm just going to stick it out with this one. Probably will find ways to really love it. And maybe by the end of the year, I will love it so much I won't want to switch. So I will let you guys know how it goes. How's your planner journey going this year? Let me know in the comments, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Bye.